I don't have really anything. We're excited to play the next team. We're looking to try and find our first win. So we're working toward all that this week, but with that, I just like to know.
Coincidentally, the last time the team was 0-2 and made the Super Bowl, 2007 Giants, and you were on that obviously as the defensive coordinator, and now playing the Giants too. Just your memories of that team, and what it took for them to come back from that start, and what do you see out of this team that can do the same thing?
Yeah, I don't think one team's connected to another. It's funny when you bring that up. So that was 07, and I think somewhere after that, I can't remember where I was, but it was 0-2 again. And everybody thinks you're going to repeat history. It's hard to do. That was a pretty special year. That was what I do remember about it is the guys. Nobody panicked. Nobody jumped ship. Everybody kind of stuck with it, and there could have been that. I mean, I was new that year, and so I think the defense could have said, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. What are we doing all this stuff for?" But and we had a pretty memorable game. We went to Washington, and it was pretty nip and tuck, and then we had a big goal line stand in the fourth quarter. I think we stopped them on a fourth down, and it kind of turned everything. And then we went on a little bit of a run. So it'd be great to repeat that. I think every team is different. Quite honestly, all I'm really thinking about is this next game. Not what's going to happen down the road. When this happens, and I'm sure Coach Reed talked about it, is all you're doing is trying to find a way to win a game, get it rolling the other way.
Steve, when you look at the first couple of weeks, Chris's pressure rate has it been what you're accustomed to? How would you just evaluate what
I have so the analytic people that are here, Mike Fraser and his crew, give me a sheet every week on how many double teams he's getting.
Yeah.
He was at 65% in this last game. That's a lot of doubles.
Yeah.
And listen, is he capable of beating double teams? Yeah, but it's tough to do, play in and play out. That may have something to do with it. And look at things I don't just grade it on sacks. I'm glad you bring it up as pressures, because I think that's the most important thing. But hopefully we can get rolling here and get the down and distance favorable to us. Maybe that'll change, but we're banking on Chris doing something.
So when he gets doubled, is it the job of everyone else to be winning?
Well, no question. That's good. That's a great point. Now there were a couple of downs there last week where they kept 7 people in. After we ran a couple of pressures, they started to do that a little bit. So not everybody's got a single when he is double. But yeah, there is some. I would say that's true.
Ashton's snaps were up. I'm just curious what you've seen in
Yeah.
as far as development.
I mean, they're up for a reason. He's played pretty good football for us. Now, the first game, right, he got the elbow, and I think he only had 9 plays. He'd have had more there. I just see him continuing to do that. I think the guys are getting a lot of confidence in him. Every time I think I mentioned this last week, every time I turn the one-on-ones on, against our guys, I think he's doing a really good job. So he'll keep ticking upward.
Coach, can you talk about Russell Wilson, how he looks on tape?
Yeah, savvy vet, loves to throw the long ball and throws it really well. And he's got guys that can go get it. Now, I mean, we're not in the same conference, it's NFC, AFC, so we don't see a lot of crossover film. So I haven't been able to appreciate the talent that this football team has on offense. And you put a guy in like Russell Wilson, who's capable of taking a game over. I've seen that happen. We've gone against him before. So we're fully aware of that. I think the skilled people that they have are really, really good.
Steve, the high blitz rate for you guys, was that something that was
You
Eagles?
talking about last week?
Yeah, was that something Eagle specific, or is that something that this team can do well?
Well, I'm hoping that we can do it well all the time. They're always there. They're always on the list. It's whether we get to them or not. That's the key. And then I'm trying to pick the right situations to do it because, they don't always work. I'd like to think if they did, everybody'd be running, right, every down. But hopefully we can get ourselves in situations where we can use those as much as we can. We'll see what happens.
Steve, from a pass rushing perspective, what do you need from your front forward characteristic and mentality-wise to collectively be successful in the scheme?
Yeah, with this particular week, I'll just deal with this one. I mean, you got a quarterback that, you'd like to kind of cage up and bottle him up a little bit because he is athletic, and if we open up holes in pass rush lanes, he can make you pay for it like most of the quarterbacks in this league. But we'd like to be able to do some things and work some games. We'll see where that goes. I mean, it's dictated by, can we get him in third down? Can we get him in, can the score be such that we know they got to throw it more than run it? When it's not like that, it's pick and choose. I think offenses nowadays, and this team is one of them, on first and second down, when they choose to throw it, they're what I call all block. Like, they got a lot of bodies in there. whether they're chipping and getting their way out, tight ends and running backs, or they're keeping linemen in, and that makes it challenging. That's why we've got to cover for a long time, and hopefully somebody punches a hole in the play action pass protection, we get somebody home.
And from
Couple
a-
more.
and from a Giants skill set perspective with Robinson, with Neighbors, with Slayton, and then the running back trio of Tracy, Scatterbo, and Singletary, like what challenges do you have with that many they can throw at you and keep fresh?
Yeah, well, like all these teams that have good backs and skill on the edges, if you let them be two-dimensional, everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? They're running, they dictate whether they're gonna run, that becomes a tough day. So hopefully we can get it one-dimensional, and the only way we can do that is to, stop the run or make that a focus. So that'll be the intent, that's what we'll hope to do early.
Okay, Coach, just Malik Neighbors specifically, how good he's been. I mean, what are you seeing on tape with him?
I didn't realize how big he was. Like, I'm talking about physically put together, like we have we put the pictures up in our unit meeting with the team we're playing, there's one of him, and boy, he's rock solid, man, he's got 4 arms. And so he's a physical guy, and he can go up and get the ball, his catch radius, and we talk all about that. He's gonna be a guy we need to take away. If he's a game breaker, he's the guy that we got up there as a game breaker, or if we let him wreck the game wrecker, it'll be a long day for us, so we'll be focused.
And then I'm curious, are you aware that there's only one team the Chiefs have never won on the road against, and it's the Giants?
I was not aware of that. I hope that changes, like Sunday.
Are you a motivation guy? Do you put both of them?
No, I didn't even, until you just said that, I had no idea. Did you run that by Andy?
No.
No, you didn't run that by Andy.
We'll go
That's a
last.
good one, though. That's a good, well, okay, so at least I had a hand in
You're part of the
keeping
problem.
that. Now that I go back in yeah, hopefully we can change that.
We'll go last 3, Todd, Nate, Sam.
You'd like to cause some turnovers, obviously.
Yeah.
What's the balance of trying to cause turnovers and not get beat deep and kind of playing that in the?
Well, the turnover thing, when you said that, I was thinking more of, if it's all about getting the ball out, then the tackling gets bad, that part of it. The part where the ball's in the air, and we should be going after the football. Now, we are a match coverage team, we play a little bit of man, and sometimes our backs are turned, so there was a little bit of a disadvantage there for our guys. But, yeah, to go 2 games without a turnover, we'd like to change that, and hopefully, the old saying, they come in bunches, and let's hope that this week is the one where we do get the bunches.
Sam?
Just Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, I don't think, thought they had the best day of the Super Bowl. What do you think of the way they?
I thought they played
Yeah.
really good. I thought that made a huge difference, and, what ultimately, we didn't want it to be 20 points, we really wanted it to be 13 or less, one play kind of got us. But I thought the whole game, both those guys did a really good job. And the one play, Trent just couldn't find the ball, and that's a tough one when the ball is thrown where it is, and the receiver sees it a little bit sooner and adjusts a little bit quicker. But had we found a way to get that ball on the ground, I would have felt really, really good about our chances to win. And then we were trying at the end there just to give Patrick another chance at the ball, but that's a good football team.
Thank you, Coach.
That was it. All right, thanks.